If you are a founder, a business owner, or a CEO and you have ever tried to build a software, you already know the pain. It costs more than you expected. It takes longer than you were told. And at some point, someone on your team said the word, it's more complex than we thought, and your budget doubled. That cycle is broken. And in 2026, there is no reason to accept it anymore. My name is Sivasurian. I run AptonWorks. We are an applied in AI studio. And in this video, I'm going to explain something that is quietly changing how the smartest companies are building software right now. It's called Agentic Software Engineering. And by the end of this video, you will understand exactly what it means and why it matters for your business. Let me paint a picture you might recognize. You have an idea, a product, a platform, something that could genuinely grow your business. So you go out and hire a developer or bring in an agency and they give you a business code. And it's painful, but you say, okay, let's do it. 3 months later, you have spent the money. The product is half built, there are bugs, new requirement came up, the timeline slipped, and now they are asking for more budget to finish. This is not a rare story. This is a normal story for most businesses building software. And here is why it happens. Traditional software development is entirely dependent on human heart. Every feature, someone has to think about it, plan it, write the code, test it, fix what broke, review it, and deploy it manually, step by step, person by person. Cost scales with headcount. Speed is limited, how many people you have, and complexity multiplies every time you add something new. For a large tech company with hundreds of engineers, this is manageable. For a startup or a growing business, it's a constant constraint, but that constraint is now removable. Think about what happened to accounting 20 years ago. Before software, every transaction is recorded manually. You need a team of bookkeeper. It was slow, expensive, and error-prone. Then tools arrived, and suddenly a business owner could manage their book with one person instead of five. Did accountant disappear? No. The best ones leveled up, but the cost and speed get financial work done changed permanently. The same shift is now happening in software development, and it's moving faster. Here is the before and after. Before, traditional development. You hire a team of engineers, they write a code manually, every feature takes weeks, every bug takes days to find and fix it. Your cost is tied directly to how many people are working and how many hours they put in. You need project manager to coordinate, QA team to test it, DevOps to deploy. The more you build, the more people you need. After agentic development, AI agents handle the building, not the deciding. That still sits with your team and ours. But the actual execution, writing the code, testing it, fixing error, and integrating component, that work is done by agents, working in parallel, around the clock at a fraction of cost. You define what you need, the agent figure out how to build it, and a human is there at every critical step to review, correct, and approve it. This is agentic software engineering, and it's not the future concept. At AptonWorks, it's how we deliver every single project. Let me give you a real picture of what this looks like in practice, because this is important. When a client comes to us at AptonWorks, the first thing we do is deeply understand the problem. What you are building, what it is for, what does success looks like, what are the constraints. That work, the thinking, the strategy, the decision is done entirely by humans, always. No agent is deciding what your product should be or how your business should operate. The clarity comes from you and from us working together. Once we have that foundation, here is what changes. We use agentic tools that can read your existing code base, understand the full context of what's already been built, and then start executing. Writing new feature, running tests automatically, catching error, and fixing them in a loop, all without a developer having to manually do each of those steps one by one. And here is what makes this genuinely different from just using AI to write code, a bit of code. These agents work across your entire project at once. They are not auto completion of one line. They are understanding the full picture, file, structure, logic, and making changes that are consistent with everything else. But, and this is something we are very deliberate about at AptonWorks, a human in the loop at every meaningful decision point. When architecture decisions are being made, a human reviews them. When something doesn't look right, a human catches it. When the agent produces output, our engineer validates it before it moves forward. We think of this way: agent gives us the speed, human gives us the judgment. Neither one alone produces great software. Together, they produce a great software fast. That's our model. That's how we product quality while delivering at a pace that surprises our clients. Let me get specific about what this means. If you are a founder or a business owner, lower cost. When agents handle the execution layer, you don't need a 10-person team to build a 10% product. We are talking about building at a fraction of traditional price, not 10% less, sometimes 5 to 10 times less. Faster delivery. Agents don't have stand-ups. They don't have blocked waiting call for a colleague to free up. Multiple parts of your product get built simultaneously. The timeline compresses in a way that's hard to believe until you see it. Faster iteration. You ship, you get feedback, you adjust quickly. The loop that used to take a month now takes days. You can actually respond to what your market is telling you. Access to things you couldn't afford before. There are probably features or products you have wanted to build but couldn't justify the cost. With the way we work at AptonWorks, that calculation changes. Things that were out of reach become viable. And I want to be honest about what this is not. This is not a magic button where you describe an idea and software appears. The human judgment about what to build, why it matters, how it should work, what trade off to make, that still matters enormously. If anything, it matters more because now the judgment can be executed at a speed, scale it couldn't before. What we have eliminated is the bottleneck between a clear idea and a working product. Here's what I want you to take away. We are at an inflection point. Right now, agentic software engineering is being used by the companies that are paying attention. The founders moving faster than their competitor, building more with less, and nobody on the outside can explain why. In 2 or 3 years, this wouldn't be a competitive advantage. It will be a baseline. The companies that figure this out now will have compounded that lead significant by then. The businesses that wait and keep paying traditional development rates, keep accepting traditional timeline will find themselves competing against companies that are shipping twice as fast as at half cost. This is a very difficult position to be in. I'm not saying this is to create fear. I'm saying it because I talk to founders every week who still have a 2019 mental model of what software costs and how long it takes. That model is no longer accurate. The cost has dropped, the speed has increased. The gap between those who know this and those who don't is widening every month. So let's bring it together. Agentic software engineering is a new way of building software where AI agent handle the execution, human handle the direction and the decisions, and the result is better software, built faster at dramatically lower cost. At AptonWorks, this is everything we do. Every project runs this way. Human thinking at the front, agentic execution in the middle, and human review throughout the project. Now, I have been using words like LLM and AI agents throughout this video, and if those terms felt a little vague, that's intentional. I don't want to slow down the big picture with technical definitions. But in the next video, I'm going to fix that. We are going to break down exactly what an LLM is, what an AI agent actually is under the hood, and how these things work in plain English. No computer science degree required. Because if you are going to make decision about building with this technology or hiring someone who does, you should actually understand what's powering it. Subscribe and turn on notification so you don't miss it. If you are watching this because you have something you want to build, reach out. The link is in the description. Let's talk about what this could look like for your business. See you in the next video.